Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 8 of the summer workshop. It might be a little noisy this week because there are some dogs outside barking. I have no control over that, so I'm sorry. It just is what it is. Let's work through it. Okay, so this week we are going to be reading and reviewing the heroic stories for the hero-related stories for Heroic July. And I'm very excited. We got some nice good ones. Later on, peer mentor Miguel will be joining us. Oh, hold on. Let me just pause the video. And I'm going to try something here. Oh, by the way, before I try this, I just wanted to ask you guys, would you answer in the chat, please, for me? Would you rather I screen share when I'm reading the stories? You want to see the actual text that I'm reading? Or do you want me to just leave my face here as I read the story? Let me know which you want me to do. In the meanwhile, I'm going to check something out here. Chat. Is this like the comment section? I have a feeling that maybe this is, but I won't know until somebody joins the chat. I'm just going to wait a little bit for you guys to give me your answers because the video is a little bit delayed, as I've mentioned before. You guys see me at a different rate than things actually happen. It's live, but it's not really at the you know what I mean. There's lag. Anyways, I think Heroic July has been pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the content that has been produced during this month and the topics that we've talked about. And the topic for next month, which I wasn't sure if we had announced because sometimes I think I announced it in the actual group, but like publicly, I don't think it's been announced. But yes, the theme for next month, or maybe it was in the last video, wasn't it? Either way, the theme for next month is villains. So just putting that out there. The theme for next month is villains, so I hope you got your evil. That's what we're going to do. All about the villains. Also, important note, I know that July has 5 Thursdays, so that's why July has 5 Thursdays. So the decision we made was that since the school year over here starts a little bit earlier, it starts in early August, we decided that we're going to take that extra Thursday that July gave us and use it for August. So even though it's not August for us, it'll be like August on Thursday. So it's going to count as August. It's going to be our very first August-related, theme-related villains week. And today we're finishing the heroes with the sharing of the stories like we have on other occasions. Just answering. I want the story in the screen. Okay. Anybody else? I don't think this one. I thought that the chat thing would basically be the YouTube comments, but I don't think that's what it is. I'm disappointed. I would have liked to be able to see from like this little thing, the comments. I don't know. How do I see the comments? Does this let me see the comments? Oh! Wow! Well, actually, now I just... No, this is really confusing. Yeah, I regret my decision. Back to capture. There we go. Okay, so Lisa said that she would like the story in the screen. And Miguel is on his way, so he'll be joining me soon. I'll just wait for him to join me, and then we will begin reading. How are you guys doing? Have you had a good week so far? pressing apps here, and it's like, now is not the moment, really. Now is not the moment to press all these apps and this weird contraption that you use to host the live shows. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I don't know if that was a good idea, pressing that button. I'm so sorry about all this waiting, but I'm just... Oh, the invite wasn't received. Let me send it again. Let me check the invite. Just close that. Add. Where was the email? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and try to add Miguel again because it didn't work the first time. Let's send that invite once more. Invite. Okay. It has been sent, Miguel. Hopefully you'll receive it. Oh. I really hope this works. How many seconds? Did it work? Did it work? I don't know. It always feels so awkward when you have technical difficulties. Like, I feel like you guys have no idea how stressful it is. It's very stressful when you have technical difficulties. Like, oh, what do I do? I'm wasting all this time on screen that I can't just edit out later. At least I don't think I can. Oh, wait. Oh, I think you messed up his email. This is check your Google Plus Miguel. See if that'll work. I hope it does. Because if not, I don't know. I just spent this whole time sitting here. And I hope that's not that with me just sitting here with this hours of time doing nothing. Nothing else. Oh, there we go. Oh, two. Hello to the other view. Oh, no, there goes the other view. Don't blame me. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and start. Miguel said to start without him, and then we'll just figure it out. So that's what we're gonna do for now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with Miguel's story. And Miguel, as you guys know, I write in first person a lot, and Miguel tends to write in third person. And last week we were hashing it out regarding, I think it was last week that we were hashing it out regarding first person and third person debate. We debated that at some point, and then we came to an agreement that he would have to write a story in first person, and I would write one in third. And I'm working. That is not the story for Heroic July because I had already previously written my Heroic July. But Perhaps in the next one, or at some point in the workshop, I'm going to share it with you guys. My third person story. So you guys can. But this one that Miguel did for her to life is in first person, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and screen share that with you guys so you can see it. There we go. The Flowers by Miguel Ángel de Jesús Colón. There we go. Let me just zoom in a little bit so you guys can read better. Let me see how that looks. Okay, yeah, that's better. Okay. They said the war would end in 5 years. I knew they were lying around the 4th year when They said the war would end in 5 years. I knew they were lying around the 4th year when the commander kept requesting for more artillery and recruits from the base. In mere days, more planes and tanks arrived, with their flags proudly plastered on them. Now, after 10 years positioned in a base near the enemy's front line, I knew I wasn't going to return alive to my island. We had forgotten our purpose. We had become machines of war, remaining vigilant for frontal attacks from the enemy, for infiltrations to the nearby town we saviors were supposed to protect. The town, which foreign name I had forgotten, but knew it meant rivers of peace in English. I had been the scenario for one of the deadliest confrontations between the enemy and us saviors, a forgotten July 15th of a year lost in the decade of war. Today was the day the dreaded and gruesome final encounter would take place. Oddly, I was happy for this moment. After the July 15th battle that killed half the population of the town, the borderline between good and evil had been crossed. We did not know the roles we acted anymore. The only haunting omen to remind us of that day was the field of red flowers that grew ominously between the crack of the dry soil. The red flowers watched us. They watched the enemy, the innocent blood gleaming in the petals. A few of our soldiers opted for suicide after a series of red petals swiveled in the air and rested on the guns of the soldiers. One of the petals swept over my journal, and it gleamed in the sweltering sun that hovered over the battlefield. I did not falter. I knew my time was around the corner. I knew very well I wasn't a hero, nor did I want to. War exploded a decade ago, while I was in my senior year in the university. I had sold my soul for financial aid, and knew very well the probability of being handpicked by the government to fight for the homeland that was not my home. Ironic, isn't it? Yet here I was, gun-loaded, uniformed, combat boots, single file with fellow soldiers whom I've come to appreciate, hearing gunshots raining outside and the yells of the heroes needing assistance, the screams of the enemy that appeared to curse in their foreign language, ready to give my life for a peaceful world, which ultimately meant a peaceful world for the foreign homeland that I was defending. I had always feared war. For some reason, I knew the moment the enemy decided to commit a terrorist act in the homeland, that I was going to be one of the thousands to aid the saviors. The first day I stepped on the foreign land 10 years ago, I was scared to death. I had always feared the unknown, and war was part of this phobia. Looking back, I have learned fear is not used in the battlefield. As I reminisce the few times I smiled during the decade, and the many I saw my comrades fall victim to the enemy, the commander shouted some words of false wisdom and courage that fueled adrenaline to our guns. I could see it in his eyes, the certainty that today was his final day as well. We sang the homeland's hymn while marching into the battlefield and searching for protection from the rainfall of bullets and ammunition. The enemy went all out for this confrontation, as did the saviors. The sun was on its highest point. The shimmering red flowers remained still, as if waiting for our blood to sip between the cracks of the ground. I hid behind a barricade and shot aimlessly at the enemy front line, and assured some hits after hearing the screams and screeches of the enemy falling. It was all dust, screams, and gunshots. It's exactly how I pictured my last day on the war. The commander paged through his radio to send air assistance to finish off the enemy. From a distance, we could see the enemy's air troops preparing their torpedoes and guns to kill us off. I was never a person of God, but I sat down and prayed to something above. I prayed for a painless death. Some of the saviors started to fall, injured or dead, to the ground. As blood gushed from the wounds, little red as blood gushed from the wounds, little flower buds grew from the dry ground, young flowers waiting to sprout when more blood rained over them. From afar, I could see the scattered dead bodies of the enemy and the flower buds that grew around the deceased. 10 long years of bloodshed had made the land the glutinous monster that fed on the innocent. Yes, because we were all innocent, victims of the hungry governments that want to overpower and control the world. Lost in thought, a stray bullet had pierced through my right shoulder. A heat of pain struck my whole arm, leaving my gun helpless of its owner. As I crossed my gaze around the war field, I saw few possibilities both the enemy and us survivors had to survive. For what felt like an endless second, I intertwined with an enemy troop. I could see in his gaze the pain of the decades and the aging of sorrow. We were tired, and it felt like death was the only way out. We did not want to be heroes of our nation. I envisioned the tranquil and happy life, the perfect life, the fulfilled human that was born to be free. I guess we were the unlucky batch. With tears in my eyes, I looked above to see the enemy air troops gliding over us and firing mercilessly to our base. I could hear the commander ordering us to retreat. It was the last word from our commander as he fell to the ground from a storm of gunshots that pierced his chest. A bomb exploded in the enemy front line. Our air troops had begun attacking the enemy, and they were falling as well. Everything was hazy around me, and I felt weaker with every step. We hid inside the ruins of the base and remained vigilant for stray troops that neared our front line. One of our comrades treated my wound by wrapping a cloth around my arm. I saw the despair in his eyes, knowing it was all over. We just sat there, between rubble and the remains of the base, waiting for a missile to hit us and put an end to the agony. I looked around to count the diminishing possibilities of making it out alive, but I knew very well that I was chasing stars and dreams. Another heat of pain struck my arm until it felt numb, and all I could was smile while chaos ensued all around us with projectiles and gunshots from both sides. I raised my eyes to see the fear striking the face of a comrade, like his eyes were fixed on something coming towards us. Again, I smiled. It was time. A strange wind blew inside the fallen base, bringing petals of red with an eerie gust that rested over our clothes and danced around to soothe the atmosphere of death. I grabbed a handful of petals and saw the glistening shimmer of that innocent blood that I too had taken out with my own hands. Nevertheless, the damage was done, and the consequences were imminent. Suddenly, I felt drowsy, as if death had come in a strange mist that caused a peaceful rite of pass to wherever we go after life. I rested my head against the wall, gave a last look over to my comrades, and smiled at them to assure them that everything was going to be all right. Our time was... And that's the end. Oh. So that's what you were saying. I'm going to go ahead and sing it. Whoa. There we go. Okie dokie. I don't even know where to begin with this. Let me refresh and see if you guys have anything to say. We didn't receive an invite. This is so weird. And OMG, my story. My weird first person story. You know what? Oh my god, that was really loud. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. You know what? Not only was it first person, but I felt like it was, I don't know. I don't know. I felt like there was a lot of real life things that were incorporated into the story. By real life, I mean like, it almost felt like a scenario you're envisioning of something that could happen to you. It felt like you were the protagonist to me because I know you and I know the circumstances in which you live in. So that's why I thought that, I don't know. I find it hard to detach myself from this story and review it because there's so many things running here. There's so many political issues, and let's be real, it's filled with political issues and controversies related to where we live in. So I find it really hard to detach myself and just be like, so this story was really like, I have very strong feelings for it. And it's because of all these references that are there. But of course, if you are not from Puerto Rico or anything like that, then you can't really see those references. And I imagine that it affects you differently when you read it. I would have to see what someone from the outside would think when they read this. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but when I read it, I saw a lot of political references in it. And I was like, dang. And so it was very controversial, in my opinion, because of that. It's a very controversial story. If you're Puerto Rican, if you're not, then maybe it's not that controversial. And it doesn't just, besides all the political references that there are here, we also find the topic of war, which is a big one in literature. Here we deal with this young man who had other plans for his life. It's not like he wanted to join the military, but because of an issue between two nations, he was called to war. He had no choice. He had to fight for the nation, and it's like the worst case scenario. It's like looking back and thinking at those past world wars that occurred, and all those people who had to give up what their lives used to be to now be soldiers and defend nations and fight wars that they didn't start, that the government started, or that individuals started, but now it's their turn to pay the consequences for it. And it's a tough subject. Like, when I saw Attack on Titan, when I watched it for the first time, the thing about that anime that I was like, wow, was when the troops were heading out for the first time and there were Titans attacking the town and they were like, ah! Like, when they headed out there and all the things that happened to them, I sat down and I was like, wow, is this what it feels like for those young cadets when they go to war? You know, like this protagonist, is that what it must have felt like? If you watch that clip from Attack on Titans, I think it's like the second episode or the third episode, it's like, wow, all of those things that happen, it's like, oh my god, you know, this is what it must feel like to be a soldier. It's like, here are all your cadet friends, and you're going off into this new place, you're going off to war, and suddenly there's people dying, the people that you studied with all these years, and they're left and right and blood everywhere, and you're running for your life, and you think you're going to die, and all those people that maybe were even better than you are dying, and you're just like, oh, you know, so I just feel like, dang, you know, I feel like that situation of being in war must be a very difficult thing, a very rough thing to experience. And I feel like this story portrayed that emotion of war very well. In terms of the political references, I think they were very well placed. Like, you definitely did a very good job of situating this in that aspect and just putting them in, weaving them into the story in a way that if you know what they're referencing, you're like, oh, I get it. But if you don't know what they're referencing, you can still feel the strength of what it's saying. Because it's like a social criticism that's how I interpret it, as this big social criticism. And it's like, even if you are not aware of the political references that it's making, you can see that there are references to things, and you can still feel emotions towards that, and you can still reflect on the issues. So I feel like even though the references, the political references, are from a specific country, I feel like no matter where you're from, you can still envision it because of the way that you did it. I feel like you can still put yourself in the shoes of that person and imagine what it must be like. Now let me just check out the comments. Well, yeah, some of the traits of the narrator are my fears. Thank you, Lisa. The main character does not even have a name. Weird. Lady, try to send me another invitation one last time. Not really in context. No one really had a name. I try to maintain this nameless thing in my stories so everyone can identify, or just make them feel that anyone can be in X or Y situation. That's kind of what I went for with the story that I wrote for Heroic July. I'm going to try to add you, definitely. Let's see if we can do this again. I'm also going to, here it says link to share, so I'm going to send that link as well. Maybe, what's this? I don't know what that is. First, I'm gonna send you this link. I'm going to send it to you. See if that works. And if not, just in case, I'm gonna send the invitation again to see if we can send. There we go. Okay. So yes, that's how I feel about the story. Mission accomplished. That's good. Yeah. So I do feel like it's something that it can be very. Woo! I think it worked. Yay! Has added. Oh, perfect. Awesome. Open this up.
Hi. Am I
Hey.
live?
Yeah.
Yes.
In theory.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you so much. I mean, thank you. Yes, and thank you for saying that awesome critique. And let me add to it that.
Go ahead.
Oh wait. Oh, I had the YouTube video on.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
That okay. What I want to say is that yeah, the main character is just me, probably, if I were to go to war because I am scared of it. Like war is one of my fears, and you know I can be like handpicked and be the hero that I do not want to be. So it's like, oh my God, there's my closet. Okay.
That terrifies you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. But I don't think it's so much. I don't think it's so much a handpicked situation. I think it's a very random sort of thing. I don't think that they handpick like, oh, this is like they take your resume, they take all your history, and they're like, we're picking this one. This one is going to be one of the first to go to war. I think it's more like all the people who are supposed to go that are in the reserves, and it's like you just grab a whole batch, and it's like, okay, you guys are going to war. So I think that's how
Exactly.
it
That's
works.
it.
I think.
Yeah, I'll probably check that one. Check that thing. Any like recommendations, whether the vocabulary, because I had a lot of problems with the vocabulary because I don't know about um words, word vocabulary, and I was like, no, you know. But it was fun to write it in. I have to say, it was fun to write it in first person. Yes, it was. So I'll probably write more in first person.
That's good. I'm writing the story that I said I was in third person, and it's going pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy with it. If we have time at the end, I'll read you guys the first paragraph.
Please.
So let's go ahead and read the second story. Now we're going to read Josie's story. So I'm going to go ahead and screen
Exactly.
share that. There we go. Okay. Let me just go ahead and zoom in. Okay. It's called Letters to My Hero. Should I narrate or will you?
Do you want me to
Oh, wait.
read it? No. You
But
read
the
it.
next one is, yeah, yeah,
You
I'll
read
read
it.
it.
It's a female character.
That's true, that's true. That is very true. Okay, let me go here. Hero, my love, I saw you on TV tonight rescuing people from the fire that was caused by a gas tank that exploded. That explains the fact that you didn't show up on my birthday. Hero, my love, I know why you don't want to see me again. It's because bad guys want to know that I'm your weakness. They want to destroy me so they can kill you. Hero, my love, I don't care how much I wish to see you and have your arms around me. The fact that makes me happy is to see you every single day helping people. Every time you hear the desperate sounds of people in danger and you have rescued them in your arms and gently lay them safely on the pavement. What makes me still love you after all we have been through is knowing that you're doing the right thing. Hero, my love, I miss you so much. I wish I could tell you my secret, but you're so far away. I wish you'd be there in this special moment. Hero, my love, I wish you had asked me if I had something to communicate with you. No, if I have some way to contact you, but I don't. That was our agreement. Hero, my love, she was beautiful. She looks just like you. I wish you could see her. I hope you received my letter with her picture. Hero, my love, I love you, but I just wanted to tell you my last word. I'm dying. Take care of our daughter. Tell her that I love her with all my heart. And now the sad part. Hero, my love, this is a farewell. I love you so much, but this is the end for us now. I hope to see you soon. Goodbye, my love. Goodbye, my sweetheart.
Oh, I read it and I was like, damn, that is sad. That is some sad stuff.
Aw, I thought it was sweet. I was like when I read it the first time, I was reading it and like just in the middle of reading it, I went, aw, and
I
then I kept
know.
reading it. It's
Oh,
just
oh,
so
it's just
cute.
like it's there, you know. Oh my God, you received the message. Okay.
No, 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 that's actually my
Let
sister.
me just.
She's talking to me, but now's
Sorry.
not a good moment.
Lily, 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 Lily. Okay, let me just the story here. I have it. Okay. Do you want to start or
Wait, I'm
should
not done
I start?
reviewing. I'm not done reviewing this
Okay,
one.
but sorry.
Okay, so I thought it was very sweet. Mostly, I think what you need to work with is the spelling and the grammatical errors, but it's not too bad, the fixes. Like, a lot of it can be fixed using the word program itself. Not, some of the grammar things are things you just have to go over yourself because sometimes when we spell things incorrectly, Word doesn't understand what you're trying to say, and the correction it gives you is for something else. So it's good to verify it yourself or with someone else who can help you out. So I think that that's what you have to work out on in terms of this story. I thought it was very sweet. It's what in the fan fiction world we would call fluff, which is just a very short little piece of writing that's sweet and makes you happy and you're like, oh. I don't mind sad things. Like depending on how it is, I'm willing to watch. So I didn't mind. I thought it was very sweet. I thought the story was paced pretty well, and yeah, I liked it. I liked that it was like a little series of just blurbs of her talking to him, and you don't really see his take. It's just like these letters, and it feels like you're him receiving them. So I thought it was. I liked it. Anything you want to say, Miguel?
Yes. Okay. I agree with Lilybeth that you should work on your spelling, and I told you that in the werewolf story. But you are what I see here. It's good, and I just have a well, you won't respond answer my question right now, but um, you used like the poetic pattern because if it were a story, it would it would be organized in paragraphs, but I feel like they're verses, Lilybeth, but maybe that's me. I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's another way to look at it. I didn't
I
see it that way.
I really saw it as a poem. I really saw the lyricism, the desire, the suffering, you know, that she's gonna die and hello my hero. And I even felt that this was some kind of weird fan that it is that she yeah she is obsessed with the hero, the fictional hero, or maybe the real hero, yeah, because let me see, from the fire and the gas. It can be a policeman, or I mean a policeman, a fireman, Chicago Fire maybe. And I really like it. I mean, top, overall I like it. I see it as a poem, and if it were a poem, I think that you should work with deepening the verses, because it well it can be a narrative poem too. So basically, you don't have to um, deepen those images and that, but you can do it anyway, because that's the beauty of poetry. You know, being very suggestive and just let people think what they want to think about your poem. But if well, this is a narrative poem basically. I really like it. It's like sweet and sour because farewell, the end, boohoo, like that. So it's cool. It has that flow that and rhythm that poetry needs, or any story needs, you know. So
And
I like it very much, Josie. I really do. Really?
Lisa, she said in the comments as well that she saw it as a poem too. Just saying.
Yay! Luisa so has a poem too.
Okay, you can read if you want. You can read it because I don't have it on the computer, so I can't screen share it. So you should screen share it. What I did was zoom it up to 150, to make it more readable.
Wait, Lily, what are we talking about here?
When
What
you
are we
read the
talking about
next
here?
one,
Sorry.
the next story we're gonna read.
What is the next? Which is? Wait, where is it? Oh my God, I'm sorry. Where is it?
You don't have it? It's mine. I don't. Let me put it on my Dropbox. Hold on. I thought you had it.
Wait, did you? Is it remember? Remember when I used to love you, Esa?
It's the hero one.
Is it? Wait, let me check. Oh yes, the attempt to.
Yeah.
Yes, I have it. Wait.
No,
Wait,
no,
is it?
no.
I don't know. Let me
The
check.
one about Reva. It's in second person.
Wait, I think I have it in
I don't know if I have
my
it.
email. Oh Jesus, right. Wait, I have to download it.
I think maybe I
Wait.
do have it. I don't know. I'm checking. Because I have it on my iPad, and I had a feeling that it was here at some point, and now I'm just like, no.
Done.
Oh, you
Found
found it?
it.
Okie doke. What
Hero,
I do?
hero,
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah. It's a crappy title. I'm gonna change it.
I love it. I really love that title. I'm sorry.
It's
Okay,
just
let me
it's like
screen share.
different. Okay, yeah. I what I do is I zoom it to 150%.
Okay. Is it there? Yes, it's there.
Yeah. Now
Okay, let me zoom in.
on the bottom right, yeah, 150 up to 150. There we go.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah, I can read it
So
now.
right now, yay. So right now I am going to read Lilibeth's second person point of view story about a hero. She's squealing out emotion. Okay, why can't I hear you? Okay, yeah. Here I go. Lily, forgive. Oh, whoa.
What?
Did I went black? Ah, wait, no.
No.
It's just that the webcam like shut up, but it's screen sharing. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, that's why.
Jesus. Okay, Lily. Sorry if I make any mistakes or I don't do the correct emotion, but here I go. Hero, hero, hero by Lilybeth Shields. A hero? Oh, don't make me laugh. There is no such thing. There never has been and there never will be. Heroes are just people whose selfish desires happen to benefit everyone else. No! Riva approaches you, her heels clicking against sleek tile. Her dark hair cascades into a maze of curls that mixes with her dress, forming an almost infinite abyss. Her long, creamy legs invade your vision, her being too close for you to see anything else from your position on the floor. She crouches before you, her manicured hands entering your field of vision. She chuckles darkly, running a hand through your hair before pulling at it violently, forcing you to look at her face. Come now, you don't truly believe the lies you are spouting. You struggle against your binds. Riva chuckles. Typical. She pulls at the ropes on your wrists, creating a small gap between part of the rope and the front of your left hand. This is your chance. You abruptly pull your hand back successfully, releasing it from its bind. You turn around and try to punch her. She catches you she catches your fist midway. She glares at you. I don't think so. She twists your fist with violent force, effectively breaking your wrist. You let out a strangled cry of agony. She reaches for your other hand, loosening the rope before you recover from the initial pain, and creates two vertical slices on your wrist and puts the bind back in place. The ropes burn and you scream in pain at the slightest movement of your hand. Struggling wasn't an option anymore. Between our broken left wrist and the cuts in your right one, the pain was unbearable. Oh, damn it. Riva gets up, allowing you to fall back onto the floor before kicking you to her throne. The only reason you're here is to impress Alex. You don't care about your people. Don't try to define what defines him, but rather the final result of their noble actions. She scoffs. You're all the same. Your eyes fill with tears, but you aren't going to let the words of someone like Riva or the bleakness of this situation waver your resolve. Everybody has an angle, so does Riva. There has got to be something that has made her feel this way. Always. She's powerful, but it's also clear this is an emotional subject for her. Sub Perhaps you can use her feelings against her. You begin to fish for clues. I guess you're right. What? You struggle and with great effort bring yourself into a sitting position. You take a moment to calm your now erratic breathing. After managing to somewhat pace your breaths, you look at Riva. I came here thinking that I will succeed, that all before me failed, because they didn't have the drive. But I will be different, my love. Uh, my love for Alex could give me the strength I needed to see this through. You shrug. I know I'm not strong, I am weak, and certainly in no condition to fight anyone. But I thought all great heroes come from humble beginnings. You take a deep breath and sigh. What a load of trash. A moment of silence passes between you. A hero, a person admired for their good deeds and noble qualities. There is no such thing. Heroes are people that make promises they can't keep. They feel the need to brave acts of service to make up for the fact that they're crappy people. She leaned forward in her seat. You're trying to get on my good side? You chuckle bitterly. What for? I'm just as bad as you. It serves me right to be here. I came here to kill you, and it seems only fair that I lose my life for trying to take another. Riva! Damn it. Riva! Jettison makes his entrance, stopping halfway towards Riva to look at you. He turns toward her once more. Please tell me this fool hasn't gotten into that head of yours, Riva. He began to walk towards him once more. You know better. Riva looks into your eyes. I had dreamed once too. You stare at Riva as she approaches you. We're all lost children crying for a mother, aren't we? She grabs your binds once more and cuts them loose. You can't be a hero. But maybe you can be a hero. For Alex. And for all the Rivas waiting for their hero to come and save them. Riva grabs onto Jettison and kisses him hungrily. His hands begin to grope her, and she stabs him, missing the heart by mere millimeters. You do as she instructed and run, looking back only for a moment to catch Riva falling to the ground, a stake through her heart. You hide in the spots. In the spots she previously instructed as Jettison runs past you on the hunt for your life. You exit from your hiding spot and take one last look at Riva, now bathed in her own blood, hero. Wait. Damn, this is good. I forgot how good this was. Lily, wait. How do I? Oh no,
Just
Lily,
click on the.
damn.
Oh, there we
You
go.
know what? The first time I read it, I didn't like. I was like reading it because reading it, but now that I got into it, I'm like, Jesus, this is so weird. You just like jumped to August and made the villain a hero. And it was so good. It was so good. Um, critique time. Da da da. Okay, Lily. Um, as you can see, maybe I struggle because reading because I become nervous and my accent like is so like on point. But there are
Oh
moments that they
wow.
need that. Yeah, I know, but I just like become subconscious. No. There are moments that I feel that you're just letting the sentences like go, and you can use the periods, the beautiful periods or the semicolons. Let me look for one of those moments. I don't know. It was. I mean, oh my God, this is in English. I forgot. Hmm, it's in the. Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! Huh? I can't find it right now. It was. I mean, it's not all the way through the story. Just that those moments are like, whoa, I need a period here because it's just flowing too much. I mean, you could use a comma like you use here. And Riva approaches you. Her heels. Ah, la encontré. This is the part.
Oh, okay, go
Riva
ahead.
approaches you. Yeah, I found it. Riva approaches you. Her heels clicking against sleek tile. I don't know if that's okay, but I will put a comma or maybe a comma. Yeah, or maybe I don't know. Maybe a comma will be good there, or
Where?
period. Riva approaches you. It's in the second
No, no, no. But
paragraph,
I mean,
like
you
at the
mean where it
beginning.
says, where would you put it? Right after approaches you?
Yeah, period. Her heels clicking against sleek
I
tile.
don't. I don't
Her
think I
dark
would do a
hair.
per. I don't think I would do a period. Did I put a comma?
Semicolon, semicolon maybe.
Maybe, but I just felt like it's one idea because she's approaching you, and as she approaches you, you hear her heels clicking against the sleek tile. So it's not two separate events. She is
No,
approaching
I
you,
get it.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's I
and it's so
understand that,
you.
but maybe
Yeah, it's to place you in the moment.
maybe yeah. That probably is the weird thing that I found. I don't know. It's just that I don't usually like. Riva approaches you, her heels clicking against. Oh, maybe,
No,
and maybe
there
now I
should be a
get it.
pause.
Yeah,
Riva approaches you, comma, her heels clicking against the sleek tile. I don't know if there's a comma, but if there isn't, there should be.
yeah. There should be, or maybe a period. I just like periods. Okay, let me see here. Well, you'll find the moments. Let me. If I was reading and I was like so into. There was a moment that she leaned. Riva leaned in her throne, and Lily. I swear to God, I leaned also. I was so into it. Wait,
Lord, yeah, that she leans
and
and she's
that
like, "Are you trying to toy with me?"
and I was like leaning also. That was weird. And it's you use the psychology to make her think why she is bad, and because she wasn't saved by a hero. That's what I got. She's like, all heroes are the same, and we will kill them all. Was she a vampire?
Yes, yes, she's a vampire. I'm glad you got that.
Yes! Yes! I knew it. Okay, that makes me even love it more. Because you're mixing the previous month and this one, and you made like the villain Riva the hero because she helps the wait, is there a name for him? I think I no. Jedis no.
No, the
No.
hero, the protagonist, does not have a name, so that
Okay.
anyone can be the protagonist.
Okay, so the protagonist, let's call him Miguel. Haha.
And that's why eh, when I wrote it, of course, I have an image of who this person is. But when I wrote it, I tried to make it as genderless as possible, which is why the romantic interest is called Alex, because there are guys that are named Alex and there are girls that are named Alex. So it can be a girl or a guy depending who is reading the story. I hope that worked. I don't know. Your image froze. Miguel's image is completely gone, and so is the audio. I don't know if he's aware. I'll send him a message just in case. So his audio isn't working. Oh, there it goes. What is this? Oh, there we go. Is this one working now? Nope. You said anything else, but the video and audio is gone. And in the meanwhile, while we work with these technical issues, Luisa, thank you for your comment. I usually don't see the second person. It really worked in this story, showing the emotions quite nicely. Yeah, I haven't seen the second person very often either. And I think the best situations for a second person, in my opinion, the best stories that you can have second person, anything related to suspense or horror or stuff like that can really get your blood pumping, or the complete opposite end of the spectrum, I think smut. So I think it's like suspense or smut. I feel like those are good places to use second person. I feel like if it were something else, like an adventure or something like that, I don't know, it depends. I feel like it's not for every genre. It's for some genres, but not all of them. Let me see if Miguel answered my message. Let me just go ahead and restart this. No, I don't. I just want to take him out the video so I can add him again. Copy. Join again. Okay. And then, just in case, I'll also send him an email invitation. I can't just review my own story. That's just weird. There we go. Let's see if it works. I hope so. Pretty happy with this. Where is this? I'll just post this guy. Don't know when the cat is. Hopefully on his way. Yes, I agree. You agree that it works, the whole gender thing? I don't think else was visible that whole time. Oh. Aw. Well, do you have anything else to say about it? You can say it in the text, Miguel, if you have anything else to say. I'm just chilling here. Oh, and now that we're done and we still have 5 minutes, I can read the first paragraph of what I wrote. I've been sending it to people. You know me. When I write, I gotta share. Sharing is caring. Let me just open. Sending it again. Hopefully that works. Let me go back here and check your comments. Suspense works well with second person. Yeah, it definitely does. I feel like those are the two genres that are just more oriented towards that. I have the beginning of the short story right here that I wanted to share with you guys. So when we're ready, I shall screen share as soon as I figure out. Oh, okay. I love. Miguel says, okay. I love the second person. I usually won't try it myself, but may I wrote first person. Come on. I was actually thinking that it would be cool if we had a little contest that was like about the POV, the different points of view, and then it was like the number one winner would be the one that wrote the best, like the best overall best combination of first person, second, and third. Like his first person, his second person, and his third person stories overall had the sum of their total score was the highest. That's the one that gets it. And then you would also give awards to the best first person, just the one who wrote the best first person, the one who wrote the best second, and the one who wrote the best third. I think that would be a fun thing. So, suggest for the future. Submit it. Okay, doke. So I'll start screen sharing, and you guys go ahead and critique in the comments. Screen share. Third person. Okay, here we go. My goodness, I'm a little nervous. Here we go. Survival is a lonesome circumstance. This was something Adelaide Wright learned quickly. It was 1573, and the Varian forces were pushing the Azzurri troops back. 3 seaside towns were now enemy territory. Given the grim circumstances, the Azzurri government decided it would be best to spend the majority of our efforts towards weapon creation. The population was moved back, but not in a traditional sense. This far into the war, only children remained. The younger ones were transferred to shelters in the southern and northern farms. The older ones, those were taken for human experimentation. The dawn of March 13, 1573, all children between the ages of 10 and 14 who lived in the evacuation zone were abducted by soldiers. They were taken from the churches, from the hospitals, from the shelters, from the streets. There was nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. Adelaide knew they were coming for her. It was pointless to run. Instead, she went to the border of the evacuation zone and gazed at the lights of war. She gazed at them as the wind blew autumn strands of hair into her eyes, the only reminder of her parents. Her eyes, her typo there. Her brown eyes filled with tears. They spilled silently as she kissed her hand and extended it towards the battlefield. Goodbye, Father. Those were the final words she spoke before a soldier grabbed her by her hair and dragged her away. Yeah, that's it. It's weird how, I don't know if you guys see that, but when I stop the screen share for a moment, it changes and it's mirrored. It appears mirrored, and then I get my image back. Kind of peculiar. So yeah, that has nothing to do with Heroic July, but that is the story that I wrote. The first paragraph. I'm watching you guys now. I'm watching the video live. Oh, you guys don't see the whole mirror effect. Only I see it. So, comments. I don't know, what do you think? Oh, let me just check out what Miguel wrote over here. I know it should be part of this semester. Also, what I told you about the flow and the periods. We need to know how to use commas. Overall, it was an excellent short story and an interesting use of the second voice narrative. I actually felt connected with Riva and her pain of not being saved by her hero. Aw, I'm glad you did. I really like Riva. And I feel like um, this is something that if I were one of those people who made video games, if I could make the story for a video game, it would be about this short story. If I could make a video game, it would be this short story. And of course, I would expand it. And instead of Riva dying at that scene, instead she becomes your partner, and then you go through the whole game as you're trying to kill Jetson and save everybody, and Riva's helping you out, and little by little you get flashbacks and you learn more about Riva and more about your past and the things that you're fighting for, and then Riva would die, but she would die at the end of the game rather than where she died in the story. So it'd be fun. Okay, it was good, so intense. I'm guessing we're talking about the other one now. I hope that's what we're talking about. I'm glad you guys like it so far. Right now, it's like I've gotten very far in this story, and it's at a point where I'm like, where am I going with this? Where are you going with this, Lily? Where are you going with this? I just don't know how I'm even going to end it. I'm like, I feel like where I'm going to end it is going to feel very like in the middle of like, where are we going? This shouldn't be the end. I don't know. But that could be a good thing. I would play it. I know, that would be it. That would make a cool video game. I think it would. I feel like that short story, the ideas that I have about that short story would be good for a video game. And this other short story that I'm currently writing, Rava, Cora, lol. Actually, I spent time looking for Riva's name. I knew I wanted it to be something like with an R, and I looked for it, and Riva's name, I'm gonna see if I can find it again. It wasn't just like, it had a name. Behind the name, maybe? I don't even remember what that is, but I will look for it. If I can find the name, that would be good. Oh, I don't think this is the right site. Nope, this is not the site. Anyways, it has something to do with like ruler or something like that. Or did I screenshot it? Seems like something I would save somewhere. But who knows? But yeah. With Riva, I knew I wanted an R name, but I was like, what R name will we give her? I wanted to be more than just a name. You know, I wanted to have some sort of purpose and meaning in the context of the story. So I took some time aside to choose Riva, and I really am happy with it. I like the name. I like what it means, although I cannot find the meaning right now, but I know that I approved of it. That much I can tell you. Go back to the comments here. Yeah. I am a big fan of Riva, personally. And Jefferson is just a big turtle. But yeah, I feel like Riva's like the villain, but then it's like not truly the villain. She died a hero's death, even though at first it seems she was the villain. But yeah. That's why I was like, this is heroic, because she died a hero, a true hero, the hero that even the original hero wasn't. Heroception. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was thinking. It seems that war is a recurring topic of hero. Okay, yeah, I think it is. In the case of this short story, it's actually inspired by the novel that I'm working on, by the backstory of the novel I'm working on. But this is just going to be a little fragment. Like, I'm hoping to later on write something similar to what I just read to you guys, but like for a whole novel. I was maybe a novel, maybe a very long short story. I don't know yet. But I had been debating, like, am I going to make a little side story about X character who I'm not, yeah, a certain character's parents, or am I going to make a whole book about them? But either way, here's a short story, boom, that's a little bit about them. and I think it works pretty well. I might stick to the Team Reba. Yeah. Well, conflict is a hero's cup of tea. And any war. I mean, internal, external. Oh, yeah, yeah. Definitely. I mean, you gotta have a conflict, right? So I think internal wars that play a big part in longer works. Short ones too. I like internal conflict. I don't like experiencing internal conflict, but I mean, I like to use internal conflict in the stories and social issues. I'm a big fan of this. Okay, not social. I don't know how to explain it. I just mean, I like to put you in situations where you have to question everything and be like, how do I feel about what's happening here? Whatnot. Yep. That would be it for this week. Next week, it might be July, but for us, it's August. So see you there, and we shall start the topic of villains. Start cooking up some ideas up here. See you then.